Welcome, my loves, to a new pick a card reading. I want to remind you that when channeling someone else's energy, it's mostly just what you guys are mirroring each other, because I will be channeling your energy for the most part. But while I'm talking about someone else, it is likely that I'm also picking up on what you guys are mirroring each other. So keep that in mind. So I hope to channel some beautiful messages for you to help you navigate the situation or to get some clarity and on your next steps or something even better. So if you're ready to pick a pile, this is number 1, 2, and 3. So you can choose between these piles or more if you're drawn to more than one card. And then you can skip ahead. I'll put the timestamps down below to your pile, and then I'll tell you what I see. So pile 1, this is your reading. You got the 5 of Swords, which is not such a nice looking card, I can tell you that. So I feel like you are pretty done with the situation. I feel like you've already kind of got some cords or made a decision to not stay in this situation. I feel like you're pretty angry at this person and you are expecting some kind of apology, or at least that they recognize that there has happened something where you do not feel respected or seen. So let's pull some oracle cards to see what else is happening here. Can I get some more cards for pile 1? What is happening with this? With this person? What is happening with this person? Okay. Interesting. So these cards are, to me, like pretty positive. And so in this situation, I feel like there is a lot more happening on the surface than you might think. I feel like you guys are in each other's life to build something. I feel like you have been building something, and that could be like you guys forming like whatever relation this is, right? Because it can be anything: romantic, platonic, family. I feel like you together have a certain type of energy that really helps you in your life. And so you might motivate each other, or you mirror a lot of stuff to each other that you can learn from, and you help each other. Maybe in a group of friends, like when you are together, you can really uplift the whole group, or you work together. Like if this is your partner, you have kids, like you are a great team together. And I kind of just feel like this is just a bump in the road, although it definitely doesn't feel that way. It feels like you're sort of having to make this big statement of, I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore this way, I cannot let that happen anymore. And I also feel like the other person is kind of taken aback, is kind of shocked from you like making this decision or putting your foot down, and they're really reflecting. It feels a little bit defensive, but it's not like they are not taking it seriously. They are. They might be silent right now because they are just really integrating what just happened. I feel like they're a little bit shocked, and so they have been taking time to themselves to figure out what their place is right now in your life, and how they could handle the situation better. But I more so feel like they are surprised at their own behavior. I feel like what they did, they kind of assumed that you would accept it, that it was okay. Maybe not that it was okay, but more like you would tolerate it. And now you didn't, or like you had in the past, but now you're like, wait, this is actually not helpful at all. This is not the way that I see things. This is not what I feel like is respectful to me. And now they just have to get used to that new reality. And I feel like that is good to know for them, but also for you. I just feel like you doing this is the right thing for the relationship. The ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. And Spirit is telling me like this was a power move. And power moves, like the word itself says it, right? Power move. So it is you standing in your power and maybe taking a leap of faith, because you might like not want to let this person go, and that might be a risk, right? To make this power move, to see how they will react, if they will stay with you, if their ego is too hurt and they will like walk away, or that's a risk. But anyway, you did choose yourself in this situation. You did choose to set some boundaries, or just tell someone off to be like, I don't accept this kind of behavior, or I would like things to go differently. Why did you choose to go about it this way? And it's funny that you have Lemuria creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Like, to me, this is the most positive card in the whole deck. It's like you manifesting your greatest reality. And I feel like the choices that you are making now are setting you up for what it is that you actually want. And if someone was used to treating you and others in a way that you do not accept anymore, it's like you are telling them, but also the universe, like, okay, I'm done with this. I actually choose to want to receive something better. And by putting your foot down, by choosing something better, that is exactly what you, like, that's a new door that you're opening. As long as you keep accepting some kind of behavior or a reality that you do not want, that you do not like, that's where you'll stay, right? So if you choose to do something differently, or you choose to accept that you actually want something else, or you actually want something better, that's also the door that you're opening. And so now you get to see the opportunities, or you get to create the opportunities that will help you manifest that which is what you want right now. I feel like Spirit is acknowledging that it's been hard for you to put up boundaries. You know that you did the right thing. It feels really good. It is a power move. And so, yeah, Spirit is saying like, you are powerful, and I'm glad that you see your own power, that you see that you deserve more. Otherwise, you wouldn't have done this, right? And so, also, I'm drawn to this card. The deck is upside down, so I saw this lying in here. It says, trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? I think that this is kind of the energy that universe, Spirit is wanting you to believe in. Like, you are choosing yourself. Keep on doing that, because what you want will be created, as long as you focus on what it is that you truly want and you do not settle for any BS, right? And you have been doing that, so keep going. You are supported in this. I want to get some information cards from the universe as your back deck. Ooh. Yeah. Attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any form of separation are merely calls for help. I feel like your person is just hurting, and I feel like you, like, on a certain level, you know this. You know that the way that they acted out was not to hurt you, but it was because they're hurting themselves. And so they might have taken it out on you because they thought you would accept it. But you're not dealing with that anymore. You deserve better. There is a stream of love supporting my dreams. Yeah, like exactly what I've been saying. Like, what it is that you want, you get to put your foot down, and you have, and now you are attracting more of what it is that you do want. And you are being called to look with compassion to that other person. You don't have to. But Spirit is more so saying, like, what they did was not because they think that you are a bad person or you did anything wrong. It's more that I feel like they were just asking for attention from you. Maybe they thought that they could get what they had to give themselves, that they could get that from you. But that was not your job, and so you are kind of redirecting them back to themselves to be like, I'm not going to solve your problems. Something like that. Okay, let's get some more cards. 7 of Cups. That is interesting. Yeah, I feel like they are just shocked that they thought that you would just... Oh, I kind of hate this for you, but I feel like they just thought that they could get away with a lot when it came to you because maybe you just accepted a lot from this person before. And so it's like they got off easily before. Is that the right sentence? Got off? Sounds a bit weird. They thought that being with you would solve their problems. And I feel like you have redirected them back to themselves and made them more like responsible for their own unhappiness. It's not like you are going to... Oh, I heard spice things up. It's not like that is going to solve that person's problem. And I think like you wanted to make this person happy because I do feel like you love spending time with them. But you also notice that if you are just a distraction for this person to not deal with their problems, that's not going to make their lives or your life better in any way, right? And so that is what you have been accepting. You've been like, okay, I see what I'm being used for in a way. And again, like it's not like they don't think highly of you, but they did think that they could get away with it and that you would stay with them while they were dealing with problems that they did not want to deal with. And so yeah, it is a power move to be like, yo, sorry, but that isn't gonna work with me. That's not how we do things, right? You cannot solve someone else's problems. A fool. Yeah, I've been a little bit foolish with you. Honestly, I'm like, what? Who in the right mind would think that that is going to solve your problems? It's just a little bit stupid, honestly. So 6 of Swords, the Empress, the Moon. I feel like you are pretty smart. I feel like you can see behind the surface of what is happening. We have the Empress and the Moon, and so those kind of have the same kind of energy. I feel like you are someone who takes the lead. I feel like you are someone who can see through someone's bullshit, but you like bring it in a loving, compassionate way. Not always, because sometimes that doesn't really work, right? Sometimes you just have to rip the band-aid off for someone to get it, which is what you did with this person. Yeah, they just feel like they have to like... They're feeling a little bit sorry for themselves, and they're like, okay, I'll leave then, whatever. But actually they just love how you made them feel, and how you can see behind, like, it's like you can really see them because you see through them. And yeah, I'm just a little bit confused myself because like I would never want to use someone in the way that they did. And so like feeling this energy just makes me a little bit confused of like, why would you be that stupid? Because you know now, of course, as well, like I am not the one to distract you. this isn't going to work if you behave in the way that you've been doing. And it's like you also have, or maybe through this reading, like this wake-up call of, wait, actually, this wasn't helpful for me and also wasn't helpful for them. And so what were we doing, or what were they doing? Like, couldn't they see that just had no use in any way? I kind of feel relieved. Like you are pretty relieved. That's kind of your energy of coming to the conclusion of, I didn't do anything wrong. There was nothing that I can do differently. I think that the only way to help them and also to help me is to set these boundaries, to tell them like, no, this is not my job. Fix your own problems. But you can also see like maybe you are there already, or you're getting there, of like, they just did this because they were hurting, and they didn't know how to fix the situation themselves. Otherwise they would have behaved in a different way, right? They would have taken on more responsibility. And maybe they, like, we all have our reasons for not taking on responsibility. Maybe there was just a lot happening in their life, and so they just wanted to feel loved. They just wanted to feel seen, instead of facing their demons. And so they first went to you instead of taking responsibility for healing themselves first. Let's see if I can figure out where they are right now, what they're thinking about this whole situation. What is this person of Pile 1 thinking? Step out of your comfort zone. Yeah, they feel pretty it's like they get it now, that they have to step outside of their comfort zone. They feel pretty sorry for themselves and they wish they could go back to you, but they do get why you like send them away or like put up your boundaries. They are confused about that. It might be that this is the first time that they are really having to look deeper, and to realize what wasn't working, what they might have done wrong. Yeah, I felt like I was going to get this card. Work through your fears. So that's what they're doing. They are... I do feel like there is still a long way to go. I do feel they have a lot of coping mechanisms to not look deeper, to just stay on the surface. Is that the right sentence? To stay pretty surface level. It's not like they have learned how to look deeper, really feel their emotions. It's like there is this cap on their feelings, and taking that cap off is maybe something they need to do with some help, like maybe therapy, or maybe with someone they trust, or but the thing is, and you could be that person as well, right? But I feel like you do not want to do that, which I totally get, but like a person like you could help them, because you do know how to do that, right? We have the moon here. You are very aware of what's below the surface of your emotions, what's really happening. You can see the patterns. Not that it's always easy for you, but the difference that it makes is taking responsibility for it. So if your person would be like, okay, I'm ready to really look at my shit and work through it, and take responsibility for it, and to see what I can do to feel better myself. And it's not that they have to be perfect right away, right? Because they have a lot to learn. But we can have compassion for that process. Like, I have been healing myself. I have been coached. I have been to therapy, whatever. So like, I know how this works, but I do not expect everybody else to be on that same level, right? Because it takes a lot of courage to go that deep. And so your person is learning for the first time that it might be a good idea to go that deep as well. And they're kind of dipping their toe into it, but they have no idea where to start. Which is normal, because if you haven't done this before, like, how are you going to know how to do it? And I do feel like it's not impossible. They will, and I feel like them saying to me like, well, it's not that hard. Like, don't treat me like I'm a baby, but like, then you should have like maybe gone about it a little bit differently. But they are willing to do that now. I feel like they are They also see that this isn't working, right? They're not stupid. They're a little bit stupid, but no, they're not that stupid. They also see that, I love this, I heard growth is sexy, which it is. You guys, we all love people who are self-aware and who can like be confident because they can deal with their own stuff. They know this. They get that, and they've heard you. They got the message. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, I love this. It's gonna take some time though, but that's normal. And it doesn't mean that you have to like stick around, wait around, if they are just not treating you right. It depends on the situation, right? I do not know what they did to you. So if they are abusive in any sort of way, like, it's a good thing that you got out, and I would recommend to like not wait on them. But if it's like you have compassion for them, you see how they are working through their fears, I feel like you can watch them from a distance and have compassion. And maybe if they come back to you and they show you respect, they show that they want to maybe work through it together with you because they see that you have cultivated this for yourself and you can hold space for them. But only if you feel like you are comfortable to hold space for them, right? Don't do anything that you are not comfortable with just because someone else needs your help. There are a lot of people that want help, but that doesn't mean that you have to help everyone, right? First have to take care of yourself. A time to give rather than to take. That's just what they're learning, right? I think that they've got a little bit too comfortable with taking. And they need to take some time for themselves to figure it out. I think you have been a trigger. I feel like you are kind of this storm that they now have to go through, and to come out on the other end. It's not your job to do anything about this. You have just pushed the first button for them to realize what they could do better, and they have begun this journey of being more self-aware. And it's their choice to see how they want to go about this, but they know. They know that they might have used you, and I feel like they know. I heard, and this might not be everybody, but I heard them say like, I know I've been treating you a little bit shitty. And they do see you like the Empress, which is a pretty cool card. I feel like they really respect you in lots of ways. And they even respect that you called them out. And I'm pretty proud of you for calling them out as well, especially if you have been in this pattern of accepting it. Maybe you didn't see it, right? It's really nice if someone comes to us because they think that we're fun, or you probably got a good time out of it as well, right? So it's sometimes hard to be honest about these things, but you have figured it out and you made this power move, so that's pretty awesome. So to finish off this reading, I'm going to get you some angel cards, which I haven't used on this channel before. And whether you believe in angels or not, it's just a fun way to see what it is that you need right now. What do you need? Okay. Beautiful. It says you are a little bit confused about the situation. Seek more information to help you move forward. So maybe there are just some questions that you have for this person, but I mostly feel like you have questions about how to move forward now that you have taken this step to take care of yourself. I feel like you are exploring more of what it is that you want, what you find important. I feel like you are pretty proud of yourself and having fun with this whole situation, being like, yeah, I got this. Like, I can set these boundaries. That's okay. What more boundaries do I need to set? I feel like you are pretty empowered right now because you see more clearly what was happening and you see more clearly what it is that you do deserve. And so it's kind of like you are exploring that a little bit more. Being honest and discerning about what you deserve, what it is that you want, saying no to what it is that isn't that. And that's beautiful. Okay, to make this decision, you have to ask yourself which way will get me closer to my purpose and which way will take me astray. It's okay to feel weird about setting boundaries. It's okay to feel like you do not really know what's going on right now because this is new to you in a sense. I'm not saying like you have never set boundaries before, but I do feel like doing it in this way and seeing clearly what has happened for the first time before maybe you didn't, that is just a little bit confusing right now. But I want you to know that you made the right decision. It's not okay for someone to use you for their own benefit, right? Your energy has to be reciprocated. The energy that you're putting in should be met with the same kind of level of love and respect. What you give is what you get, right? So if that isn't the case, you have to balance things out by maybe setting boundaries, telling what it is that you deserve, that kind of stuff. I feel like I've been repeating myself, but it's really okay to do that. You get to stand in your power, you get to feel good about yourself, and you get to be treated the same way that you want to treat others, right? I also feel like there's no need to hide yourself anymore. It's time that you recognized that you are the Empress. This is like the loving person that you are. Speaking with honesty, giving other people the space to be who they want to be. I feel like people can really talk to you about anything. And so it's time for you to be with those kinds of people as well. And if you do not have anyone around you like that, it's time that you know that you deserve that. It's time to let this kind of stuff go. This is like done. Not to say that you won't run into anyone doing this to you because you are just a kind, loving person. And so sadly, there are just people who can like smell that and will try to take advantage of that. But it's our job to learn how to say no to those kinds of connections. And we have to do that in order to attract these situations and the people that will treat us with respect. It might not work like the first time, but you're getting the hang of it. You are going to recognize when this is happening way faster now, because you've called it out now already. And so you can do that again too. And it will feel really good. Like you are the one making the power moves, right? Keep doing that. Believe in yourself. Believe that you deserve the best. Also, like if this is someone that you want to still be with or have in your life, give them some time to figure it out. If they recognize that they want to figure it out with you and they take responsibility, they want to put in the work, like of course, like let them into your life. And like no matter what I'm saying, right, do whatever you want. I'm not saying listen to me for everything, right? Take what resonates, leave the rest. But I think that they need to figure this out on their own before they can come back to you. Or they have to show that they are really willing to be honest about what has happened here to you, and then you can move forward together. I'm also being called to show you this card again. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? If you knew that everything would be working out in the best way, what would you do? How would you behave? Can you trust the process? Because you have triggered something within them, and now it's time to do like their job, and your job is to just focus on what it is that you want and have some fun. And know that it is not happening to you, it's happening for you. And I feel like you know that. And you're doing a beautiful job of being discerning, of choosing what it is that you want for yourself. So that was your reading, part 1. I hope it resonated. I hope this helped a little bit in untangling the situation. Let me know in the comments if you want to do that. Give me a like if you like this video. I'm not doing personal readings at the moment. I am doing soul journeys, which is helping you feel your truth within yourself and that you hear your soul talking to you. If that is something that sounds interesting, you can check the link in the description to check it out. I'd love to work with you. I hope you have a magical rest of your day or evening, and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye! Welcome, pal, to your reading. So you got the Sun card, which is a pretty positive card, and I feel like your person is, and this can be any type of relationship that you have with this person, can be platonic, can be romantic or familial. I feel like they are having a powerful episode. What I mean by that is they are feeling pretty good about themselves, or they are portraying like they feel good about themselves in order to keep themselves feeling in control. And I feel like from the outside they might be pretty like outspoken, loud, positive, or more like they have a strong energy or personality at the moment, but I also feel like there is something behind the surface that they're not showing you or the outside world, and I feel like that is what we'll be getting into a little bit more in this reading. Like I said in the intro, I'm not going to be too much in this person's energy because I do not feel like that is right. They did not give me permission to do that, so we're mostly going to focus on the relationship that you have with this person and how, like, if there is any information for you to know. But everybody is like mirroring each other, and so what is within you can also be that is what they are mirroring to you as well. So let's see what we need to know about Teal's person. What is going on in this connection? Okay, let me see. I can only like smile when tapping into this energy. It's like you guys are building something beautiful together, and I feel like you're kind of each other's fuel. And we have the priestess here. It says, how are you being called to step up and lead? And birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. You guys are each other's fuel to do something new. I feel like what you guys are doing is pretty unique to you. And like, it feels like you have this kind of secret that you guys have with only each other. This secret bond, or you have something special together. I cannot really figure out what it is, but I think that is meant to be that way. It's like this secret, like, it's kind of like you guys are like giggling together or something. I love this for you. And then we also have dance with life, do something to change your energy. Yeah, you guys are just having fun. You guys are really enjoying life. I feel like when you are together, you do not really feel like anything else matters. It's just you two and having a lot of fun, or just relaxing together. Like, you do not have a care in the world when you're together. That's what I'm feeling. It's pretty special. And also like the secret bond that you guys have. Like, I want to know what that is about. It also feels pretty sacred, so it feels like you do not want to share too much, like, online or something about this, what you guys are experiencing together. And honestly, I feel like they are your son. This is so sweet. Okay, so what is going on with this person? Yeah, I feel like they are just trying to figure out their place in the world right now. And so they might have a kind of an inner conflict about who am I, where is it that I want to go, what is it that I want to do, but mostly it's about how do I want to present myself to the world. And that is an internal process. And so you guys are, I feel like you are like, we have something so good together, but why are you so much like in your head? Or maybe they might be taking a little bit of a pause from this connection, or they are like stepping back a little bit. That's just because they cannot really figure out who they want to be on their own with you, right? Because when you are together, you have this special thing, but that is not the same as but figuring out who you want to be as your own person is pretty hard to do when you are in this lovely connection that you guys are having. So it's not about that they do not like to be in this connection, but they just cannot do what they need to do right now in a connection. They have to do that on their own. And this has nothing to do with you, for sure. Like, you might recognize this as well. If you are with someone, they say that the 5 people that you spend the most time with is kind of who you are as a person. So when they are with you, they also see themselves in you. You guys are mirroring each other. Yeah, I feel like they are just seeing themselves a lot within you, but they try to figure out who they are without you. And that's only a good thing, right? Because we are not the same. We shouldn't be the same, and so we all want different things. I feel like that might be a little bit hard for you to hear. But I want to encourage you to look at your person with compassion for them to figure out who they want to be. Because if they know who they want to be and where they are going to feel more confident, more strong, and they have like this purpose or this like point on the horizon where they can easily travel to. If that's not clear, they're going to be retreating even more. They're going to be more in their head, and so it will become more easy if they figure it out. And so it's beautiful if you can give them a little bit of space and like talk about this whole process. I don't think that they have opened up about this process to you yet, because I feel like they might feel like you won't understand what they're going through. I don't think that that's true. I think that you are very compassionate and you have a lot of love for them. And so I think that you guys are able to talk about this very well, actually. But it's a pretty internal process. And so it's also pretty sacred and special to them. And so then to try to explain that, while it might not be clear to them what is kind of happening within themselves, that's pretty hard, because then someone can maybe interpret it differently than they meant to explain it, or you are forming kind of your own view of what they're going through while they actually mean something different. And so it might be that they are taking time to know what it is that they are actually feeling and going through before they are comfortable with sharing it with you. And I think that that's only beautiful, because that's also respecting your time and energy. Because if they are just going to like throw their insecurities and their process onto you, and like now you have to carry or what they're going through or help them with them, like that's not what they want to do. They want to figure it out on their own, because that's the only way that they can do it, right? It's the only right way to figure this out. So it's only respectful that they are waiting a little bit, taking some time to figure it out themselves before they tell you exactly what they're going through. And they're so loving and respectful to you as well. I feel like they look at you with a lot of awe of how you are giving them space and being patient with them already. They really respect you for that, so that's beautiful. Okay, The more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. Yeah, I feel like if you are showing them that you have faith in them, that they can figure this out, that they got this, that will give you guys a lot more love and compassion, and like that will only do the connection right. You can be more relaxed if you give them, if you show them that you are giving them the space that they need. I feel like they can relax a little bit more, and they might open up to you sooner, if that's what they choose to do. So yeah, you can have faith in this whole process. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. So in a situation like this, it's kind of our job to be patient, right? To know when it's time to ask questions and know when it's time to let someone just, to give someone their space, right? And so, because you have a lot of love for this person, that you know that the most loving thing that you can do is to just love them, ask what they need, and to give them that space. The more that you connect to just being, seeing them for the lovely person that they are, the more that you connect to this love that you have for this person, and the more faith that you give them in this whole process, the easier this will go. And yeah, that's just a beautiful energy as well, because you are really supportive of each other. And I feel like that's also going to strengthen the bond that you already have, because they just really feel safe within this connection. The more that you allow them to really explore who they want to be. I just feel like they need some reassurance right now, because they might feel pretty fearful in this process. We also got the universe has your back. So what you can do is to maybe like check in on them and tell them that it's okay to feel uncertain about their place in the world right now. That's just a normal part of life. We are not certain of where we want to go, who we want to be all the time. It's like a process, right? I feel like it comes in waves when we are sure, and then we aren't anymore, and then we are, and then we aren't. And they feel a little bit judged by, not per se by you, but like for going through this process. I feel like they put a lot of pressure on themselves to having to know, like having to figure it out already. But they haven't. And that's like, it's part of the process. So they do not have to blame or shame themselves for it. And I feel like they just need to hear that. So yeah, if you feel called to tell them that, I think that would really make them feel more at ease. And maybe you can also like talk about your process in this, figuring out who it is that you are. You want to be like, share your doubts with them about your own process, or like how that was for you, or how it is for you if you are also going through this process. I feel like you are a little bit more stable in that part of your life. But I think it would help to like open up the conversation about this being pretty tough and confusing sometimes, and that's okay. I feel like they just need to know that that's okay, that it is confusing and it takes time. Like, these things cannot be rushed, but these are the things that we would like to have figured out faster, right? Because then we feel like we can be more confident, we can like be this powerful person and go towards our goal. We are told that we always have to have this goal or this purpose that we are working towards, right? But there's not so much, there aren't many people talking about the space in between, because sometimes we like get to our goal and then what, right? Some people manifest their dream life and then they come to this point of, okay, shit, and now what? Like, I have cultivated this big dream of mine, but now I'm pretty confused of what to do next, right? And that is part of life. That is totally normal. And I feel like your person is going through this as well. And sometimes things just don't work out, and then we have to pivot. We have to look for something else, something better. And that can be sad as well, because that comes with mourning the old. For example, I manifested what I thought was my dream job, and then I got to work there, and it did not feel as my dream job at all. Like, it was on paper, but then I got there and it was just not anything like I thought that it would be. And so I had to let go of that dream. I had to find another dream. That can feel pretty confusing, pretty lonely. That can cause a little bit of heartbreak, of shame, of being like, oh, but I thought that I wanted this. Why can I just not be happy with it, right? And maybe the outside doesn't get it as well because you've worked really hard for something. And so it comes with a lot of stuff, right? A lot of weight on their shoulders. And I feel like it's a normal process to go through. And I feel like they can be more compassionate towards themselves about this process, and other people could be a little bit more compassionate towards them as well, right? We are all just projecting our fears onto each other in this process. So there might be people saying like, you shouldn't be so difficult about what it is that you want. Just try something out and be happy about it. But like that person that says that to them might have had a rocky experience with choosing what they want to do in life as well, right? And so they're now just projecting their fears onto them. And so that has nothing to do with your person, but everything to do with the person that is giving the comments about, you should be more like me. Like, you shouldn't be doing this because this can cause harm to yourself or to someone else. But they are only coming towards your person from their experience. Maybe that is what they experienced, but that doesn't mean that they are having the same experience, right? It's just a projection of their reality onto someone else. And so don't take their criticism too harshly. I feel like this might also be a message for you. Other people can only look at you through their own life experience. That's kind of the glasses that they have on. Your experience is totally different from someone else's, but we tend to pretend like we're all the same and we all have the same feelings and thoughts and whatever. Sometimes we would just forget that we're all unique human beings somehow. And just knowing this makes it a little bit easier to move on from comments and just projections of someone else onto your life. And so you can just take it with a grain of salt. You can be like, oh, thank you. I did not really ask for your opinion or this feedback. And it might be that it is coming from a place of love, right? It's not like we want to give advice because we think that you are like that other people are doing it the wrong way or whatever. But it's not their job to tell you how to live your life or tell your person how to live their life, right? So I think that it could really help if you gave them some strength in being like, hey, whatever someone else tells you, you do not have to listen to it. Their reality is not your reality. And you get to make your own decisions. It's your life, right? Something along the lines of that. Let me see if I can get some advice on how you are feeling in this connection, what you can do. A new start is coming. I feel like these are also pretty similar in color, which is pretty cool. I feel like you guys are building something beautiful together. And it might feel a little bit confusing now because your person might be a little bit confused. But I feel like you, when you come out of this or your person comes out of this, and it might take some time. It might get more confusing as it can be scary. And sometimes when people get scared that they cannot figure it out or they feel like they're not good enough because other people might be rushing them or they feel like they should be ahead by now or be better, sometimes people distance themselves And so you might see this increase a little bit more. So maybe they are already taking some space, and they like, that's normal in this process, right? They cannot figure it out with someone else there. That's like their job to do. But they might take a little bit more space. And that might be a little bit scary, but I feel like that is needed for this new energy to come in. This new energy, like this connection is going to change a little bit, I feel like. It might already be changing a little bit because of this process. And it's a little uncertain about what's going to happen next. So can I get a card for what is going to happen next? Aww, show the world the real you. I feel like this connection is going to feel more balanced because they might not have known who they were before, but they are finally ready to step up. They are finally ready to bring their own uniqueness to this connection, but also be more themselves in the world as well. And that is going to change the dynamic, right? If someone is being more present, being more themselves, that changes the whole dynamic. And that's just what is going to happen. Any advice for pile 2? Yeah, I feel like I need to take some other cards, so I'm going to get you some angel cards. Never have used these on this channel before, so I'm excited to see what you'll get. Oh, 3. That's a lot. Okay, so this one, it's all in Dutch, but this one talks about a new cycle. Yeah, this is just the beginning of a new cycle and the ending of an old phase. And you can ask for help for more clarity around this. Yeah, you deserve the very best. Don't compromise. Reach for the stars. And then it's the right time to start something new. There is something good coming from these positive intentions. So I feel like it's just a time to lean back, to have fun. Like, you have a lot of fun together, so also focus on that. Just enjoy this connection that you already have. And I feel that like this is going to turn out beautifully. The universe has your back. The universe has your person's back. Yeah, just beautiful. Like, the love between you two is so beautiful. So I just think that you guys have a great connection, and this is all going to work out in the best way possible. So I hope that resonated. I hope this helped give you a little bit more perspective, more clarity. Let me know how this resonated in the comments. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or evening. I'm not doing any personal readings right now, but what I am doing is soul journey sessions, which is helping you connect with your soul voice. So you do not need any pick a card readings, but you can really feel who it is that you want to be, who it is that you want to become, and what next steps to take. So if that is something that interests you, you can find more information in the description below. I would love to work with you. Hope to see you soon. Have a great day. Bye. Welcome pile number 3 to your reading. So you got the World as a first card, which is a beautiful card to have. But I feel like the World is sort of like completion, I think. I'm going to look it up for you. I feel like it's a lot. There's a lot going on, but before I dive deeper into this, yeah, wholeness, completion. The World is the final card in the journey of the major arcana. It signifies completion, harmony, and contentment. It's rare to experience this energy, as we are usually consumed by wanting, needing, and achieving. So when this card appears, contemplate for a moment the idea of being whole. Focus on the image of the cards. Close your eyes and envision this radiant energy inside you. What does it feel like? Where is it located? What blocks you from feeling a sense of wholeness each and every day of your life? So I was a little bit confused because the World usually is a beautiful card when it comes to, it's like this feeling of being satisfied, right? The end of the journey, you've arrived. But this could also mean that it's a completion of a relationship. And so it's kind of an end. But it's different from getting the death card. So in tarot, the death card usually is the card of an ending. People always get scared of that card, but it's actually a beautiful thing to have an ending and then something new can be reborn. But in this sense, it's like, so what comes to mind for me is the death card is sometimes an abrupt ending. It's like death is pretty dramatic, right? It can be pretty dramatic because it's final. It's really final. But this isn't completion, which means that there is more to the story. It's a whole journey. And I don't feel like, because we're talking about connections, right? So it could be that one of your loved one has passed away and you've had this beautiful cycle of maybe growing towards this moment of their death. And so it doesn't really feel like an ending because maybe you have a really strong connection with this person's energy now that they have passed away. And so you don't really feel like they're really gone. It's like they live inside your heart, but they are also watching over you. I'm also getting called to look at the stars. This isn't a message for everyone. But yeah, I feel like a loved one is really loved by you and they love you a lot and they are watching over you. But I also feel like it is an end of a specific relationship in your life, and so that might not have been a physical death, but it might be you guys moving on from the connection. But it still feels, it feels more like a completion than a goodbye. It feels like you have each other in each other's heart and you're watching from afar. You really wish them the world. This is such a special, beautiful reading. I've never channeled anything like this before. I feel like you have planted some seeds together, like you have maybe done some projects together, or you might have grown a family together. And so those things that you have experienced together and built together, or like the memories that you have, the seeds that you've planted, like there are like flowers in the middle, right? So those things are not lost, they're not forgotten, they live on. They, like if you had children together, they will keep growing up, right? Do their own thing, but it's kind of this labor of love that you have had together. I don't really know how to explain this, but it's like something that you guys have built together or done together. It lives on, and it just lives on. I'm a bit confused because this is not where I thought that this reading would be going. Like, all the three piles are so different. Like I said, I never had any messages like this before, but this is, wow. I feel like your person is someone that has a lot of respect from other people, from you. They also have a lot of respect for you. And they just feel really calm. They feel really at peace. Sad, but accepting and loving about this whole situation. I don't know if you have communicated about how they feel, or had the chance to, if this is someone who has passed away. But I feel like they are just really at peace. I heard at home. They're at home, so they feel safe. They feel, they are home. I do not know what that means, but maybe you do know what that means. And they are watched over as well. I feel like they watch over you. They are the stars, but then they, like this white light, right? They have, you sometimes hear these stories about people who have had a near-death experience. they see this white light, and maybe like family members who have already passed waiting for them, right? So I feel like that, and then like those people can tell those stories, but that has probably happened to your person as well. They probably weren't alone when they died, right? There were probably some people watching over them and coming to help them make this transition. And I just remembered that I have not lit these candles again. I took a break after pile 1 and 2, so that's actually beautiful. So if you are up for it, we can light these candles with intention for your person together, if that is something that feels good to you. I just want to light these candles to honor them. And so maybe there is something that you wish that they knew, that you wanted to tell them, or you just want to take this moment to really honor them. You can do that with me now. Taking this moment to honor who they were, and who they were for you in your life. Thanking them for everything that you've built together, you had together. Acknowledging them for what they did, their light, their love, your connection. Just taking a moment to really honor them. So if this is someone that you've lost, I'm so sorry for your loss. You do really feel like you had a beautiful connection. Also, if this is not someone who has passed away, you can still honor them, right? I feel like you guys are, if this is like a breakup or a divorce or whatever, you can still ceremonially like close this chapter, but still honor them. I hope you like that little ceremony. I personally love to create these ceremonial moments to stand still with the closing of a chapter or a beginning, or to be really intentional with life. And this is a part of life, right? And so when we really take the time to honor what has happened, or someone else who has passed, or the situation that is now done, with standing still and honoring what has happened, you can also better close the chapter instead of just trying to move on, to not think about it too much. Like if you are instead intentional, letting like whatever has happened really be, accept it, see it for what it is, like honor it. That makes it easier to really close that door and to step into a new chapter. So I hope I can help you do that a little bit in this reading today. Let's see what else I can tell you about this connection, about this situation. What else? Okay, so getting a little bit emotional about this reading. This is so beautiful. Longing for home. Remember when I told you that they feel at home now? They want to make sure that you know that they have felt at home with you. They made them feel at home. You made them feel at home. And they are safe, loved right now. They're taken care of. What else can I tell pile number 3 about this person, about this situation? Is there anything else that they need to know? Yeah, I feel like a lot of people in your life have a lot of opinions about what happened, about this person, about this whole situation. They might tell you who this person was to them, but I feel like that is just really messing with the process that you're in right now. And Spirit is kind of nudging you in the direction of not letting those opinions and stuff get to you. Again, like it's good for you to honor the situation. Like everyone struggles and goes about death and grieving and of an ending of some kind differently. And we all have our own process, right? It's really, really different how each one of us handles grief. And again, like if this is not someone who has passed on, you can still deal with grief, right? If this is your partner and you have children together and you're deciding to split up, right? You still have to grieve that whole like chapter that you've gone through together. That's a whole process, and so someone can tell you like how you should feel or what you should do or where you should be in this process, but they do not have any say in this situation. So don't let yourself get swept away by other people's opinions or how you should behave or how you should feel or anything in that sense. They do not know how it is for you. They just know how it is for them. They do not know how it is for you. Okay, can I get any more? Interesting. So these cards also came out in pile number 2. And so if you feel drawn to that reading as well, you might want to look into that, as that was a beautiful energy between two beautiful souls. So that is what I'm also reminded of right now. But I do feel like it has a different meaning than in pile 2. What I'm feeling for you, as I wanted to focus a little bit more on your energy, as we are all mirroring each other, and I do not want to get too much into someone else's energy who is not asking me to do that, right? Like your person. So what it is that you are asked to focus on, like this is your energy. You are feeling strong. And to be honest, what I'm feeling in this whole reading, like I said, I haven't experienced this before, this kind of energy. The way that you are honoring this closing of the chapter, the way that you are honoring this person, that has, like to me, that is someone who has so much strength, so much love, so much compassion, and so much respect within them. And so this card represents you. It's the priestess. How are you being called up to step up and lead? You are able to lead yourself through this process, and you are doing that in the most beautiful, beautiful way. And I honor you. I know that I've said the word honor like a million times in this reading, but I honor you for the way that you're handling this. You are really not making it any better than it is. You are honoring everything that is happening. You are honoring your person and trying to dance in the rain. Trying to look at the opportunities here as well. And creating a more beautiful life for yourself. Like endings are also beginnings, right? The completion of a chapter also means that it brings forth a new opportunity of creating new life, of creating a new chapter. And that's what you're stepping into. I feel like you have already stepped into this. I feel like you might have been grieving or dealing with this ending for a little bit already. I don't feel like this is pretty sudden. Might be, but I feel like this has, you know that this was going to happen. It's like you have seen this leading up to this moment. This is why you can look at your person with a lot of compassion, a lot of strength, and have a lot of love for whatever happened here. But I do think that it's sometimes hard to stay centered, to not let it all get to you. Also, like that is pretty normal as well, right? This is a really difficult process because there are a lot of emotions that we have to deal with, like loss and love and heartbreak and confusion about this new chapter, because you're ending something and you're stepping into something new, but we do not know what this new is. And that's pretty scary as well. And then you have all these opinions from other people who also have their say about it and how you should move on or whatever. And that can really throw you off your center. But you're being reminded that you are this priestess that is really connected to their center, who knows what it is, what they have to do, right? They are hands-on. And they have wings. You can fly. I feel like you are moving into a state of freedom now that you are moving on. And moving on might not be the best word for this, because if you experience the death of a loved one, it's not moving on, it's just moving into a new chapter. But I feel like this new chapter is helping you to get into more freedom for yourself. So maybe you are going to take a trip to really enjoy yourself, come back to yourself, figure out what it is that you want to create. But you are really taking the time to respect your own emotions, your own process, to make that room for the new thing that you're stepping into. And to get away from this, you might give yourself that freedom to explore. I also feel like it feels a little bit weird to, if you do resonate with the sentence of moving on, if this has been a relationship, I feel like you are doubting if it's okay to leave this behind. So I want to get a little bit more information on that. Is it okay to move on, or is it okay to find the freedom to find out what it is that you want to do next? Or anything else, Spirit, that you want to share with pile number 3. Interesting. So I feel like there might have been some conflict with this person before about this situation, or you are having a lot of internal conflict about how to move on to the next chapter. I see you holding on to what is lost, but what is lost isn't there anymore. And I'm saying this with the most love and compassion for you, because that's pretty hard to accept, especially if we're grieving. We might still believe that there is something left here. And you're still recovering from this shock to the system of this chapter closing. You're not healed yet, and that is normal in this process, right? He has a bandage over his head. And so give yourself patience. You do not know what's going to happen. You're not supposed to know. It's like something has shattered, right? Something good, something that I hear this had to happen. Take what resonates, leave the rest, okay? I'm channeling. If you do not resonate with anything that I'm saying, please feel free to not take it on as a truth, or to not do anything with it. But I hear this had to happen. You are now in the position of choosing your own way. And this inner conflict is kind of hurting yourself. So you might beat yourself up for wanting more things, wanting more freedom. You might feel like you have to do something different. You might listen to these people criticizing the way that you're handling this. But this just causes self-harm. And I also feel like you are trying to defend yourself to these people, but that also causes harm to those people, because maybe you get in a fight about it or whatever. And I would just refrain from having any discussions about this at all. I would just not get into an argument about this. I would just try to stay away from any conflict about this situation at all, because you are still healing. You have this whole process that you're still going through. First of all, like, you do not have to listen to these people at all if you don't want to. And I wouldn't even like begin a conversation about it, because you might get hurt even more because of what they will be saying. So if you do not feel like you want to talk about it with anyone, please just don't. You're not supposed to do anything that is going to make you more confused. Like, this is confusing as it is already. You need that freedom. You need to step away from that a little bit to hear what it is that you actually want, what you need. And this is pretty hard to do. And I feel like you are trying to do that as well. But you also want to defend your person, right? You also want to want other people to think highly of them, because they're not a bad person. I also feel like you might be getting into some situations that are not good for you. I feel like you are trying to maybe distract yourself instead of healing yourself, because it just hurts too much. But especially when it comes to other people, getting involved with other people too fast, or arguing about their opinion and then taking it on as a truth while it might not be true. I feel like you have to really be careful about how you might be deceiving yourself. I feel like in a situation like this, it's really hard to know what is true, to stay in contact with your emotions, because it is way too much at times. And so honor yourself for that as well. Honor yourself if you want to like do something to like not think about it, but be careful that it won't hurt you in the long run. To not get in situations that you cannot get out of, that have a lot of consequences. And so maybe someone says like, oh, you should do this, and you are not really feeling like you want to, but maybe like your mind thinks it's a good idea, but your heart already knows that you actually don't want to do it, but then you do it because your mind is like wins in the situation. And so you get along with this person and you do the thing, and then that has consequences. Something like that. So don't let anyone talk you into doing things that you're not ready for, that are not really good for you right now. You already know what this might be. Like I said, take what resonates, leave the rest, but take care of yourself, listen to yourself. You know what you will need. And it might be different from what other people would do in the situation, and that's perfectly fine. Yeah, again, don't let anyone tell you how to heal. Don't let anyone make you feel bad about grieving. They do not deserve to be in your life if they cannot help you heal, if they want you to themselves for their own selfish reasons. I feel like there are people in your life that say they want the best for you, but they just feel uncomfortable, and then they try to take when you do not have anything to give right now. That's a pretty hard message to give, but I feel like it needs to be said for you to be discerning, because when we're grieving, like, there's so much going on, we want to distract ourselves, and then sometimes someone comes along that seems like they have the best intentions, but they actually don't. So pay attention. Again, just listen to what it is that you need. Also, I feel for someone that there might be a third party involved who is saying like, okay, Like maybe you are going through a breakup and then someone has the chance to like fill the shoes of your former partner, to be like, okay, I'm gonna save you, it's my turn now. They might show you that they have the best intentions, but they might not respect that it's a little bit too soon for you, and they might want to take advantage of the situation that they're in. Doesn't mean that they're a bad person, doesn't mean that they will not ever be able to give you what you need, or like this won't happen in the future, but it's like they want to go too quickly. They cannot really respect your pace. So be careful with that as well. Okay, so what is it that you need? Expect powerful change. Confidence is your key to success. Yeah, just know that this won't last forever, the feeling that you're in right now. And be confident that you know what it is that you need, and you have what it takes to get through this. And be confident enough to only listen to yourself. I know that that is pretty hard, especially right now with all these people around you telling you how you should feel, behave, whatever bullshit they're telling you. Not everything is bullshit, right? You accept help, and like if they're loving, if they're respectful, listen, but only listen if you want to listen. So my camera got a little bit overheated, and so I'm not sure where we left off, but I picked this card, then Show the World the Real You, which kind of hones in on this whole chapter that you are starting right now. This is what you're learning. You're showing the world the real you by being confident in your own decision making, in what it is that you need. You're setting boundaries. You are showing up for yourself. And it feels very heavy, feels very emotional as well. It's not like you enjoy this process. Maybe you do, because there are parts that can be enjoyable when choosing ourselves, because when we are able to give ourselves what we really need, and we understand what it is that gives us joy, and we cultivate more of those moments for ourselves, that is a pretty powerful and beautiful thing to do. It's pretty difficult because it might not be the way that you would have chosen to do these things. It's kind of like you have to now. But it is a beautiful process if you choose to see it that way. And I feel like you will. It might be difficult right now, but you are creating a lot of change. And so there will be a time of you feeling at home as well. With yourself, but maybe also with with whatever you decide you want to do, like travel, or maybe you will meet someone that you want to spend more time with. It can also be like a friend or a family member that you get closer to. So when I let my camera cool down a little bit, I put on some music, and this song came up. It's called Good Things Come to Those Who Wait by Nathan Skies. I would look it up, listen to it, because the lyrics were matching kind of the energy that I'm feeling for this one. So if that feels fun to you, check it out. It's a good song. It's mostly about knowing what is right for you and being okay with waiting. Okay, so let's get some more cards for you. These are some angel cards. Haven't used them before, so I'm excited to see which ones you'll get. You got 2 of the same cards that the first pile got. You also got 2 cards of pile 2. That's pretty funny. So you got, to make this decision, ask yourself which way will bring me closer to my, it's in Dutch, so give me a moment to translate. Life task, life mission, what you're here to do in life. Ask yourself the question, what is going to bring me closer to my path, and what is going to lead me astray? Okay, then we got, you are a little bit confused and cannot make a decision because you haven't got enough information. Look for more information, or work with a professional before you make a decision. Take your time. Listen to what it is that you need. And then new psychic and spiritual experiences will change the way you look at yourself and the world. Let your spiritual gifts bloom through study, prayer, and meditation. So you might be called to look more into spiritual practices, into finding a community where you can really connect on a deeper level, feel this sense of peace within yourself. I know that when I got through times like these, meditation was like a godsend, because that gave me the peace that I needed. It gave me a break from all of the turmoil, all the emotions. Because through meditation you get to connect with your soul, and your soul is always peaceful, always knows what to do. And so it kind of, meditation gave me a break from life, pretty much. And it also helped me to move forward with more, it would make things more clear. Like I could untangle my emotions and my thoughts through meditation. Not only meditation, but prayer, intention setting can be a good thing to focus on the positives. Not to say that you, like there is this thing called toxic positivity. I'm not talking about that to make everything look better than it is. But if it's really hard in your situation, it's beautiful to set the intention to look at the beautiful things happening as well. And so you redirect your focus onto what is going right, onto what is beautiful. So maybe you focus on flowers in your neighborhood, or a beautiful conversation you had with a colleague, or just these little special moments that can really help you throughout your day, right? So setting the intention to focus on those things, to see more of those. What you focus on, you attract, right? So pay attention to what you are focusing on, and maybe look into meditation. Be good to yourself. You do not have to prove anything to anyone. You can just go through this process in your own timing, in your own most beautiful way. You've got this. You can trust yourself. You can trust that you will know what to do. And always you can ask for help. You're not alone, but be discerning in who you listen to. I always love the advice of, don't take advice from someone who is not doing the same as you, or hasn't gone through what you have gone through. Especially like in business, or when it comes to like this beautiful relationship that you had. If someone is giving you advice from a point of view of having been in a really toxic situation, they might be saying like, fuck that person, you should like go out, enjoy yourself, and whatever the case may be. Or someone who hasn't had a business before, and they are like giving you business advice, like that doesn't resonate with your situation, right? So don't take advice from anyone who doesn't really understand where you're coming from. Also, don't try to convince them that your way is the way. Don't let them convince you that their way is the way, but choose your own path. And you're very capable of doing that. I see you learning this in this whole process, and you're doing so well. Be true to yourself. You deserve it. That way, you will not be disappointed when this new cycle ends as well, because this is just a chapter, right? This is just a season of life. And the more that you choose yourself, the more that you choose to do what feels good to you, the more beautiful moments you will create for yourself, the more that your life will look like the life that you want to create for yourself. You are living for you, right? Not for anyone else. So the more that you choose to make the decisions that feel the best for you, the more of those moments, the more of those situations you will attract, you will create. The more that you are being yourself, showing the world the real you, the more people who are appreciative of your energy, of who you really are, the more people you'll run into, because they can recognize your energy, they can recognize themselves in you. And so if you are changing yourself for other people, if you feel like, oh, I need to be this way, then people will like me, then you will attract people who are like that as well. And so they also have this mask on, right? The more that you are yourself, the more people who really appreciate you for who you are then can find you. So don't change yourself, because then it's going to be confusing, right? And you will attract more confusing situations. The more that you are true to yourself, discerning, the more of that is what you will attract. But also within this advice, take what resonates, leave the rest, because I feel like there is so much going on for you that this reading might also be like a lot of information. Like really be gentle with yourself with taking in information and taking on advice. And I also feel like I just need to stop giving you any type of advice because it's just a lot. So I really hope that this did give you some perspective. This helped you in any way. Let me know how this resonated. If you want to honor your person by saying something beautiful about them, what you loved about them, I would love to read that, to honor them. And you're doing so well. Sending you lots of love in this difficult period of time. I'm not doing any personal readings at the moment, but I am facilitating soul journeys, which is helping you to really listen to your soul, what it is that your soul wants to tell you, getting advice from your soul. So instead of getting advice from me, you're getting advice from yourself, which is really lovely. People say that they also feel really zen after. It's like going to the spa. And you can get some really beautiful answers to your questions from yourself. So if that is something that might interest you, I will put the link of the Soul Journey sessions in the description. You can check it out if that is something that feels fun to you. I hope you have a wonderful, blissful rest of your day or evening, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye!